Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3, back once again with the 3 count with SP3 for December 12th, 2019. It's a rare Thursday edition of the 3 count. My Monday edition came up a little bit later than I wanted to. I decided to do this on Thursday. If you guys are members of the Tru Heels group page, stay tuned and make sure you watch our live edition of the Tru Heel Heat 57. That's going to be live on Facebook Live via the Spotlight and the Tru Heels. And we're going to give you guys a special live stream on right here on YouTube of Tru Heel Heat 58, which is going to be our last edition of Tru Heel Heat for 2019. So stay tuned for that. Tru Heel Heat 57 will drop on our channel this coming weekend. So you stay tuned for that. Watch it on demand. Enjoy all the laughs, all the unfilteredness, and our rare rants from Top Guy JJ, as well as his alcohol of choice for Tru Heel Heat 57, and of course, the fiery opinions of Miss Chrissy Love. And I hope you've been enjoying all the content. A big hit is the second episode of SmackDown with the Lynches, over 200 views so far. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you stay tuned for that. We had the Romeo Report this week. We had another 3 count with SP3 where I went over the Hall of Fame inductees, the rare WWE releases, something that we didn't think was possible in 2019, as well as the full cards for both nights of Wrestle Kingdom, because the news is always fresh if you haven't heard it before. But on today's 3 count with SP3, we're going to be going over something else that's rare with WWE: wellness violations and suspensions. We're also going to be talking about the next announcement for the next pay-per-view from AEW, and we're going to finish up with a few notes coming out of NXT and AEW Dynamite last night. So on our first count with the 3 count for SP3, we're going to be talking about WWE does some rare wellness violation and suspensions. On December 10th, WWE came out and said that they had suspended Eddie Colon, aka Primo Colon, and Robert Roode, each for 30 days, effective immediately, for their first company wellness violation. These wellness tests happen very, I won't say consistently, but periodically throughout the WWE calendar year. And Robert Roode and Primo Colon are the ones that suffered from it. Primo Colon had not been on TV since early 2018. He has not been seen, both Colons have not been seen on TV in over 18 months. Robert Roode was a part of a tag team with Dolph Ziggler. They won the Raw Tag Team titles back at Night of Champions in 2019. They lost the titles to the Viking Raiders just a few months later. And Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler were drafted to SmackDown together. They had been teaming with King Corbin. They had been in a feud with Roman Reigns. A couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, Roman Reigns took out Robert Roode with a spear through the barricade and throwing a table on top of him. That was basically a storyline right off for Robert Roode, as revealed now, because he has been suspended for 30 days. We hope both superstars are able to basically clean themselves up and repair their reputation, but it's very rare. It's something that we didn't think was possible. 2 things we didn't think was possible in 1 week: WWE releasing talent and WWE suspending talent for the wellness violation. The last suspension for wellness was back in 2016 when Paige committed her second violation of the wellness policy. So 2019, we're ending off with a bang and some rarities in the WWE. On our second count, on the 3 count with SP3, AEW last night on AEW Dynamite announced their next pay-per-view. Their next pay-per-view will take place in the Wintrust Arena on Saturday, February 29th. It's going to be another Saturday show. It's going to be at the end of February. I think they missed the bucket on calling it Lethal Leap Year, but it is going to be called AEW Revolution. A lot of people online are very upset that it's another pay-per-view in Chicago. It is in a different arena. It's not going to be at the Sears Center, which was All In as well as All Out, and AEW Dynamite a couple of weeks ago on Thanksgiving Eve. All took place in the Sears Center, the home base of AEW, where everything was born. They're going back to Chicago, but this time in the downtown Chicago area at the Wintrust Arena. on Friday, December 20th, next Friday. Tickets will go on sale for this big event, but this is sure to be a big one. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be an immediate sellout, but I feel like it's going to be bigger in anticipation than Full Gear. I feel like they have already started pitting the breadcrumbs of what they're leading to for the pay-per-view. We've seen the storyline build up so far between Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley, which seems to be the big main event that's going to be for this AEW Revolution pay-per-view. We saw on AEW Dynamite last night, Chris Jericho invited Jon Moxley into the inner circle. It didn't seem like Jon Moxley took him seriously, but Chris Jericho told them to think it over the holidays, and we probably will get our answer on the January 1st edition of AEW Dynamite. But Jericho versus Moxley is something that's building anticipation, that's building up momentum, and something that will be a big draw for AEW Revolution. I want to know your comments in the comments section below. Are you guys upset that AEW is bringing another pay-per-view to Chicago? We have to understand that they're a new promotion and that Tony Khan has relationships with probably a bunch of arenas in the Chicago area. So that's why they are getting more pay-per-views than it seems should be. But we have to understand they have a bunch of logistics that they have to go around, and there has to be a reason why Chicago's getting another pay-per-view. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section below, and what other matches that you see going down at AEW Revolution on February 29th. And for the third count, for the 3 count with SP3, for December 12th, 2019, we got to go over what happened last night on AEW Dynamite and NXT. I thought AEW Dynamite was a very, very good show. I felt like I had a lot of complaints on the Thanksgiving edition as well as last week's edition, with a couple of minor notes with like stuff happening during commercials, too many dark stables, and just other stuff that I didn't like. But this week I felt like I had a lot less complaints, a lot less audio issues. There wasn't one minor audio issue throughout the entire night, but I thought this was a very focused show. They focused on the Moxley Jericho story, also building up to Jericho versus Jungle Boy non-title 10-minute time limit next week on December 18th edition of AEW Dynamite. They also did a great job of building up to the main event, which was the street fight between Proud and Powerful and the Young Bucks, and that match leading to the winners versus SCU next week in Corpus Christi. So they did a great job of focusing in on building up for next week's show, building up for the January 1st show, as well as putting down the breadcrumbs for their February 29th AEW Revolution pay-per-view. So I thought it was very good. I thought NXT was also good, but I felt like NXT was more of a setup show. It was more focused on building up for next week's show. They want to have a big rating for next week's show, so they did a great job of with the video packages for this special that's going to happen next Tuesday to build up Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Championship, as well as building up for that triple threat match that the winner would verse Adam Cole in next week on December 18th. So 2 really huge shows next week. NXT has Adam Cole versus Finn Balor for the NXT Championship, as well as Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler, like we said before, for the NXT Women's Championship. AEW Dynamite has Chris Jericho, La Champion, versus Jungle Boy, 10-minute time limit, non-title match. It also has SCU versus the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team Championships, as well as Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker in a number 1 contenders match with the winner versus Riho on the January 1st edition of AEW Dynamite. So a lot of great things happened on both shows. I thought the triple threat match between Keith Lee, Tommaso Ciampa, and Finn Balor was awesome. Probably the best match of the night, along with Angel Garza versus Lio Rush. Very special moment for Angel Garza, him winning the championship as well as proposing to his girlfriend. So great things going on there, and we'll talk about that more on Tru Heel Heat 57. But a couple of injury notes coming out of it. We had the big spot, Saito suplex from the top of the production set down to 2 tables where by Mia Yim onto Dakota Kai, where Kai hit the back of her head on a table. She requires stitches, but she is supposedly all right. Thankfully, that looks scary. And in the main event of AEW Dynamite, we found out after the show that Nick Jackson was dealing with a very high pressure flu. He had an over 110 degree flu. He was on the ground shaking before AEW Dynamite went live. A lot of people told him that he shouldn't have competed, but he would not be stopped. Incredible performance, because watching it, I had no idea he was dealing with that, because he put in one of the Nick Jackson classic vintage performances that he always does. And Santana of Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz, Santana was suffering through a back injury, which with the amount of times they did bumps through tables, another one that I had no idea he was dealing with that. I think for this week, I'm going to say that AEW Dynamite had the better show, in my opinion. I feel like AEW Dynamite will have the better ratings this week. NXT, I felt like was more of a setup show. I feel like outside of Garza winning the Cruiserweight Championship, Dakota Kai dying. Yeah, she died. And Finn Balor winning the triple threat match, nothing really happened on the show. You had the Jason Riker versus Travis Banks. You had Kaden Carter versus Bianca Belair. You had Raul Mendoza versus Cameron Grimes. There was just a lot of matches that I don't see doing good on the ratings. But both shows were good to very good. So we had a great time on Wednesday. So I hope you did as well. Post your comments down below in the comments section on what you thought of this news update from the 3 Count with SP3, what you thought about the wellness violation of Rude and Cologne, what you thought about the announcement for AEW Revolution coming up on Saturday, February 29th in downtown Chicago, and what you thought about AEW Dynamite NXT last night, and who you think is going to win the ratings war next week for their big shows on December 18th. Post your comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, push that like button, push that subscribe button, and stay tuned for so much more from the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been the 3 Count with SP3 for December 12th, 2019. Signing off. Until next time.